Good morning, and for those who celebrate it, a blessed Samhain, or Samhain, however you pronounce it, it's up to you. And for everybody else, happy Halloween. So I did a video yesterday morning and attempted to upload it to Twitter. I'd rambled on for 18 minutes and it was too long. So today, and for the next few days, I'm going to be trying to put out shorter videos to see if I can actually get them to upload to my Twitter feed. A couple of words about this people keep mentioning. It's a dressing gown. It's a really nice, warm, fluffy, furry one. And when you live in a 200 plus year old house that's quite cold and drafty, you appreciate things like this. It's not a woman's dressing gown, it's my dressing gown, as in the words of Eddie Izzard. It used to belong to the wife, but now it's much too large for her. It's too big for me as well, but it's nice and warm and fluffy. So, yeah, and I do these videos first thing in the morning when I'm just up, having my first coffee of the day. The house is quiet, there's no distractions, and my brain's working quite quick. I'm an early morning person. So, what's tweeting today? One of the people I follow has replied, things they should teach in school: how to grow vegetables, how to plaster a wall, how to knit, how to navigate without Google Maps or SatNav, how to collect drinking water from condensation, what else? And this person I follow on Twitter has tweeted, how to pluck, gut and joint a chicken, possibly. Yeah. So, I wouldn't even call them survival skills, you're looking at life skills. Now, when I was in school a long time ago, they did teach a subject, how to be a decent citizen. I think they called it civics or something like that, and it was half an hour a week, and we would sit there and the teachers would try to explain to a group of bored teenagers how to write a cheque or basic life skills that we didn't really understand and appreciate. And nowadays, who writes cheques? You know, I do wonder what teachers say in school today when the answer they always used to trot out is, well, you won't have a calculator with you all the time. Yes, we will. Oh, I wouldn't be a teacher. It really is a thankless job. I think it's something you've got to want to do, and it's not about the money. But yeah, life skills. And it was something I was thinking about lying in bed this morning. We used to call it something like the 7 ages of man. But now, me and the missus, we are grandparents. Our grandchild is just turned 1 year old. Our children are in their 20s, but more or less in the 20s, all of them. So they're becoming young adults. They're going out in the world and they're supposed to be getting houses and places to live, which is now impossible these days, but they're having kids. They're becoming parents and all the rest of it. And so our role as the older generation, as grandparents, has changed. We are now sort of teachers. We impart knowledge and skills and how to do things. We sort of pass that down the line, and hopefully our children will listen. I didn't listen to all the lessons my parents tried to teach me. You don't. Sometimes you've got to learn the hard way. Sometimes you've got to learn the very hard way. But you still, as a parent of children and grandchildren, you're trying to impart these lessons. So, what lessons would I impart? What would I say? How to grow vegetables? Yeah, definitely. That's a thing. But that's one of them weird things. My mother, who is still around, and her father, my grandfather, who is not, they were after the Second World War, when the government engaged in a massive project of house building and rebuilding, because they got people in temporary accommodation and temporary homes, and they had this massive thing of red brick council houses. They built loads of them. They built hundreds of thousands of them for people, We built them with large gardens, and they pushed the idea of people growing their own, allotmenting, supplementing. I mean, we still had rationing, and rationing carried on into the 1950s, but people were encouraged to grow their own vegetables. Now people aren't. People are encouraged to go to the supermarket and buy them. How to plaster a wall. Well, again, simple basic DIY. You could say how to wire a plug, how to change a tap washer, how to plaster a wall, things like that. They're just basic DIY skills. Again, you've got to be a specialist, and all fairness to like specialist chippies and carpenters and painters and people who know what they're doing, because amateurs can really botch a job and make a mess of it, and you have to sometimes get a specialist in. And I mentioned how to change a tap washer. Modern taps, you can't. They're built with ceramic units. You can't change a tap washer. It's just impossible to buy a little piece of rubber for about 20p and stick it in now. They're just not built like that. Same with plugs. Stuff comes with plugs on it, and I think technically you're not allowed to clip the plug off. If you've got to run it behind a work surface or through the back of a cupboard, I think you think technically you invalidate a guarantee if you cut the plug off a brand new item and attach a 13 amp or 5 amp plug to it. What's changed now, but yeah, them sort of skills. Yeah. How to knit. Oh, that's a good one. I cannot knit. I just don't have the dexterity or coordination or whatever, and I instinctively purl if I'm left to do it. I've tried, and I just instinctively purl, which apparently is a harder stitch from a knitting stitch, but I just can't do it. And yet people who can knit and crochet and all the rest of it, brilliant. And the thing is as well, you look at a lot of clothes and all that, like I've got a fat face jumper. I only really wear it in the winter because it's so warm and all that, but it looks like a big chunky knitted jumper. It's like something your granny would have knitted you. And when you were a kid and your granny gave you a knitted jumper, you'd be like, oh god, thanks a lot, whatever. But you go to Fat Face and pay fucking hell, I don't know, 60 or 70 quid for it, and you're like, oh, look at this, it's ridiculous really, isn't it? But yeah, how to navigate without Google Maps and SatNav, yeah, that is a skill. And map reading, or not even map reading, or we need to learn how to read maps. Orienteering, perhaps not so much, but yeah, we need, I can do that, it's my age. How to collect drinking water from condensation. Well, that's a bit of a zombie apocalypse thing really, isn't it? I mean, you're looking at water purification, you're looking at you can't drink rainwater, you can't drink this, you gotta, you either know how to do that or you don't. And that is the thing, and and all this like zombie apocalypse and preppers and boards and all the rest of it. People, they're going to say like after the first wave, when the infrastructure collapses, people are going to die not through zombie bites, but they're going to die from drinking dirty water. It's it's going to be like cholera and all that sort of stuff. That's what's going to kill more people than the zombies. I think maybe we should know the theory of it, but put it into practice, I'd rather not. And then we answer how to pluck gut and joint a chicken. Yeah, how to process meat. We remove from meat, and I know there's a lot of vegetarians and vegans, and they're much more than we used to be. But people who eat meat should respect meat. I've gutted fish. It does make you respect what you're eating more. If you'd see it as a living chicken, and it's necked or whatever. I mean, you got to hang it, and you got to pluck it, and yeah. I think that does teach you to respect where the food comes from and what you're eating. Now we're 9 minutes in, and I'm only going to run this on to 10 minutes and see. So yeah, I'm scrolling down through my Twitter feed in the last few seconds. I don't think there's much. It's all about Strictly, which because we had people round last night, we didn't really watch it. I'm going to catch up on it today. Yeah, Strictly is like it serves a purpose. It's like your Saturday night entertainment. It's very glitzy. It's a circus basically. Sitting and watching Strictly is the equivalent of going to the circus or going to the opera or the theatre and looking at all this glamour and glitz and sparkly and all the rest of it. And that's why Strictly is so popular, I think. Peace out.